Hello, welcome to Spy Money. I'm going to show you the Spybot confirmation. It is part of the Angular package that we have. And with it, when you lease the Angular bot, you get this one as well. It's all part of the package that we have now. So on this one, running the last week, the settings that we've come up with, and we actually run the majority of this week, is 5,168.88. Now these numbers are skewed a little bit, and I'm going to show you how. So it's actually, if you played it according to the strategy and the rules that we played, this number would increase drastically, and your gross loss would decrease drastically. So you had a max drawdown of 321.32 running this analyzer. This analyzer is not 100% perfect, and I don't want anybody to think that it is. But it's a good place to start, and then once we find some settings that work, then we go back and look at the chart. Once we look at the chart, we will see that it actually runs better. Now this is running all this past week, and the numbers actually work pretty good during the other weeks and such, but what you want to do is every week you have a little bit of difference. So every day we like to look back and see how we can adjust settings to make it work. So you don't run one set of settings for 6 months or whatever because it won't work. You're always adjusting. And we do that. So in this one, we're 78% profitable. Look at that profit factor, 3.38. That's incredible. If you can get into the threes, that is just one of the best profit factors that you can get, that or better. And this bot is running untouched. So I'm going to go here and show you the chart. Now, what does not come with this package is the zones and the balance, which is that red line right here. So to give you an idea, right here, these red lines do not come with this. That's something you would have to purchase. And the zones you would have to purchase, unless you have your own set that would work for you. And you can manually draw these out, but it's just easier doing this. So when we look at this and we're trading, we have some different filters here. And this one right here, more than likely we would have put our profit target here or on down and then chase it with a stop. So this one, we could have got more money out of it if you'd followed the rules that I teach. We also do live training and we also do live trading. So during the day, sometimes I'll run 4 or 5 streams. It just depends on what's going on. So we have different ways that we can trade, and I teach this. So on this one, we didn't have any trades at all in here. Manually, that would have been probably a good trade. Well, it definitely would have looking back on it, but you don't know that. This one right here, we would have moved our profit target on down. We probably would have stopped out around here. So there's quite a bit more money that we could have made. Same with this one here. This one here, maybe you move this one on down. You only had one trade out of these two, but you would have still come out better doing that. So this one right here just depends on how you played it. Probably would have played down to here and put your stop there and then brought this one on down. So it just depends on the trader itself. So what I want to show you is there's a few of them that had some losses. For the most part, they're winners. Like this one here was a winner, and this one, maybe you picked it up. Once you would have got out probably in here, this will probably have been about the same amount of money playing by our rules. This one right here, this one would have been at $95. So what we do is we don't put it in the bot settings. You can, but once it gets down here and we start chopping like this sideways, we usually get out right in here, even if it's a small loss or a little win. We usually get out right here. This went as far as $95 there. So we're going to take that out. We would never have allowed that loss to go that far. We wouldn't have done it. So I think worst case scenario is when this went up, you might have got out there. That would be worst case. And then when this come back down and started pushing down, you would have brought your break even down here. So I don't really think you would have lost here. So there is money that is lost in the setting, or the there's it's actually $150 that you lost there, but you wouldn't have lost that playing our rules if you do that. Now, if you just let the bot run, you would have lost that. This one here, that would have been a loss. There's just no way around it. This would have been a definite loss for you. And come back. We got different times that we run these. So we come back here, and I'll show you a couple more. This one right here would not have been a loss. When this come down, when it started pushing down and started coming up, you would have gotten out. You would not have allowed that full loss. So this is one of them that you would have, broke even, a smaller loss, or maybe even taken a little bit of profit. There's always another trade, and that's the way we teach. You don't have to have a profit on every single trade, or not profit, but you don't have to have your full profit every single trade. Even if you just make a little bit, that's better than losing money. And that's how I train. So all through here, and that's just not to say that, when you see this right here, obviously that is a good trade, and even down through here, but it didn't fit the parameters that we use within the bot settings. So you're not going to get every single good trade, but you're also not going to get every single bad trade. So what we're looking for is a good conservative approach with the bot. Now, if we were live trading, I would have got in on this trade right here and this one here. So these two I would have got in based on what I'm seeing. But with the parameters that we're using, that is not going to be a trade. But if we were in the live trading, we would have taken these trades manually. So there's extra money you could have made off the side of the bot. This one here, it pushed right on up. More than likely, this one here, I would have left my profit target there, maybe even a little bit less, and played off of this zone. And then when it come back up, we didn't have another signal here, but manually, we would have taken this trade. This would have been a trade that we would have entered ourselves. So we would have made money here off to the side of the bot. And then this one here, the bot took and probably would have put my profit target up there and then just chase it with a stop. So we're looking to take profit in our zones and such. So the numbers will skew a little bit because of that. So when we're live trading, I will call out, this is what I'm doing, and you don't have to do it. You can just let the bot run, but I call out what I'm doing. Now, that's not to say that I'm going to be with you live trading all day long, because I don't do that. I just do it occasionally. So, but the training will teach you how to do what we do. So as long as you're trading that way, then you're going to be fine. This one here barely got profit. You got profit here. There's two of them right there. Sometimes when you have these way out, you're better off just to let it take profit, because usually it'll push up and pull back and then take another one. Now on this one here, we would have manually taken this one and this one. We would not have taken this one, but we would have taken that one and that one. And I trained how we do that. This would not have been a full stop. With this getting in here, and then we start getting all this chop, we would get out with either a little bit of profit or a little bit of loss. We would have got out right here, because why? We have another trade. We always have another trade that we can get in. So what you want to do is limit your losses, and when you start seeing it chop up, just get out of the trade. If you can take $10 or even $5 just to cover your commission, you take it and just wait on the next trade. You will have another trade, and that's what you have to remember when you're trading. So we have another one here, a trade there. We would have actually got in off of this one and off of this one. We would have got in on that and there. So there's two more that we would have live traded and made. And again, I teach you why you would do that. Through here, we wouldn't have had any trades in here whatsoever. I go over that in the live training. We come back here, we have a profit here. And when this pulled back, we barely escaped our stop. So we got a profit there, got a profit there. We would have got in another one right here manually. So we would have traded this one manually since the bot didn't get in. And we wouldn't have traded this one here. We would have probably maybe got in here, maybe not. Probably would have, based on the signals that I know. But this one right here, these, you would have one here and one here that's good trades. Would I move this around? No, because our balance is right here. With our balance being right here, I might have moved my stop up or my profit target up a little bit and still made a few, like a point or two more, but probably would have just left it there because it's not enough to move it. Go back over here. We have another winner. This winner was pretty good. I would have moved my profit target right here. So there's 90.75, and there's another 5 points that we could have got. That's $100 more on that trade. So the bot is great for your signals and getting in trades. Once it gets in a trade, you need to kind of watch it, and as long as you have these levels out, you can sometimes get a lot more money out of that trade. Sometimes you can make or have a lot less stop because of where you are. So, and again, I teach what to do with that. I live train it. So it's questions and answers and all that. This one, when we got in, my profit target would be right down here, right above it. And you can see right there, we picked up another, there's 35 and 24, so another 10, 11 points that we would have got here. So 10 points is going to be another $400 on this trade. So the bot does really well at filtering out a lot of bad signals. There's also some good signals, like right here, we would have entered this trade here, and we would have entered this trade. So here's two trades we would have entered. We would not have entered this one. I doubt very seriously we'd been in this one, but we definitely would have this one, and this one, and this one. So there's 3 more trades that we would have gotten if we had just, watched and did or followed the rules. That's all we have to do is follow the rules. You follow the rules, you're going to do well. So let's go back and find some more. So we've got this one. That's a good trade. We don't have anything except down here. So what I would have done was put my profit target down here. And then as this goes down, I probably would have made the same, if not a little less, on this one. So this one would have been a better trade to have just left alone. But I usually move my profit targets accordingly. This one here, I would have went ahead and moved my profit target down to here. So because this is my next good zone. So I would have moved it down to here. So from there, you got 73 down to 55. So you've got, 18 more points, which is going to be 18, and this is $360 extra that you could have got on this. This is in the evening too. So what you want to do is just manage it. And if you have your zones laid out, then you know where to go. This one, I would have actually put my profit target right above the top of this one because that's where it's going. Here's another one that, 94 to, so you've got 7 points more. So, maybe you put it down just a little above it or whichever. If you put it right at it, you'd still get it. But there's another, at 7 points, it's $140. So see, using the bots is really good, but if you manage that bot a little bit based on support and resistance lines, then you're going to usually do a lot better. So that's all you have to do. This one right here, when it went in, it's right there on the TP1. I would have left it. I would not have moved it. I might have even moved it down a little bit below and taken a little less profit just to make sure I got it. Nothing wrong with taking a little less. Just like there's nothing wrong with taking a little more. This one right here, we have this zone right here. I would have probably left it there and then chased it with my stop, and when it came down, I probably would put my stop here and maybe made a little less. So this one I might have made a little less. This one I made a little less probably. This one right here, I would have put my profit target up here. And as you can see, whenever it got up and it gets past here, I put my stop in right here. If it keeps on going, great. If it doesn't, I still make the same money. And that's what you have to do. So again, the bots work great. Even right here, we have several trades in here that we would have entered. The same thing with here. I mean, when this pulled back, we wouldn't have hit that one, but we would have got in this one. And I would have played this one right down to here. So there's quite a bit of money right here. There's 46 down to 25. So you're roughly 20 points. There's $400 right there that you could have got in. Once it started dropping down, if you wanted, you could have hopped in, but that's not what I would have done. Worst case scenario is I would have put it down to this yellow orange line, put it down to there and just let it run and then chase it by stop. You might have got a bounce here, but you still would have made money. So just because your level's there, don't mean you can't put it down below, but you never know that this is going to go all the way down. Now this orange line is a good point of being. So if you put it down there right to the top of it and just let it go and not take this other, you're fine. But here's the thing, if you come down and you start getting a pullback, you need to get out because you will probably either reverse out or you could potentially get another trade. So this one right here, being that close to here, again, you just leave it alone. Come back here, we look at this one. This one coming off of the balance right there. A lot of times it will come right back into it. This one, I don't know if I would have moved or not. I probably would have just let it hit that and take it because we're coming off of that balance. This one right here, I would have probably moved it right on up to the balance and I would have got stopped out right on through here somewhere. So I still would have made this much money, and then manually we would have hopped in that one and that one. So there's two more trades that we could have got, and usually we use like a 30 tick stop and a 30 tick profit, and that way it can play around a little bit and or breathe as you call it. And if it keeps on going, we immediately get our stop up here to break even. But my profit target would have been up here. So because this right here should have went to the balance, it did eventually bounce through and then popped up and then come right back down. So these key levels, your SPY money balance and your zones, there are two indicators that's a must in trading in my opinion. I trade with them on chart every day. This one, when we went in right here, we come up, we're right above at TP1. I probably would have left this one alone because of that. Because usually it'll go up, you'll come through, and you get another trade. Well, in this case, we got the trade here. I would have put my profit target at this major zone, at least right here. But I probably would have put it here and then let it go and then chase it with a stop. So you could have got a potential 48 to 64, so you're looking at another 16 points. So see how the numbers can be skewed? This one here, I would have left alone because we were coming in that zone. I might have even dropped it down a little bit. But this one right here, I probably would have left alone. This one right here, I would have moved up to here. So more than likely, this one would have just kept on going and we'd had one trade, one commission, and actually picked up this much more profit here. So that's probably how I would have played that one. We're always playing for the zones and the balance levels. If we entered here and then it pulled back and didn't, this is not an area that I probably would have entered manually just because of what it is. This one here, usually you'll get a pullback here, so you would have got to trade and trade and trade. Didn't happen. Back over in here, we know not to trade this. This is all chop. We just don't trade it. This one right here, manually, I would not have entered here, but the bot was right. I would have just left this alone and just hoping to get my profit target hit, and it did. Bounced up and then ended up taking another one. This is one I would have entered manually, but I wouldn't have entered that manually, but the bot knew. It has signals that goes by. So let's take another day over here. So we've got this one. Here's another one. My profit target would have been here, so there's more profits you could have gotten. Just showing you what I train in the live Discord. And the Discord's only available to the Spybot Suite lease people. That's the only ones it's available to. This one right here, we would not have taken that full loss. When we started chopping through here, it would have been a small loss or a break even. But honestly, this zone was not here at that time. This zone was. But when it went through and then come up, you got this hammer. That's a good sign just to get out. Again, take a small loss. If it's a winner, no big deal. You're going to have another trade. There's always another trade. You don't get full profit every time, and you don't take the exact profit every time. This one right here, when we entered, I would have went ahead and put my profit target down to here, and then when it come down, so there's another 47 to, so there's another 10 points right there potentially that you could have gotten. Same thing here, our levels here. My level would have been there, not down here. I would have been taking profit alone here because that's my level that I'm looking for. You can always, if it pulls back or keeps on going, you either miss it or it pulls back and you manually trade it if the bot doesn't take the trade. I usually trade two separate accounts. I have one that I run the bots on, and then I have my main account that I manually trade. So that way you can trade at the same time. So maybe your bot is in a trade, but you see it too, so you trade your other one manually. So you can do that, and then just control both of them. This one, I would have put my profit target right here, so there's extra money. This one right here, I would have put my profit target down here. And when this come down and started coming through, I probably made a little less money because my stop would have been there. But my profit target would have been here. This one, we come down. And honestly, when this started coming up, it's a wonder it didn't get stopped out. But when this started coming back up, I probably would have exited right here and not taken that full profit. This one right here, it ended up going, this would have been a complete stop. That would have been a failure no matter what. And then we go back. I think I got one more day. Now right here is a lot of congestion. And quite honestly, with all this, my bot would have been paused. So I know that I would not have lost money here. I would not have been trading here. I just wouldn't have done it. This one right here, I'm not so sure. I mean, we've got a lot of signals here that's actually working pretty good. I probably would have allowed it. And honestly, I wouldn't have moved this any further. We had a zone here, so I would have just left it alone. That's where it would have been. But when you have this kind of congestion, you just don't trade. This just whips on, and you're not going to make money. You need these trendy candles up here. This one right here, I would have moved my profit target up to the SPY money balance, so we would have picked up more money there. And back through here, I just wouldn't have been trading this. This is just not worth it. Just not worth it. Then the afternoon, we missed a lot of trades. Oops. We missed a lot of trades here. And the bot wouldn't have done it, and I know why. It's the signals that we have, the filters. But if I was manually trading, I would have missed this, but I would have picked up this one, and I would have at least got it down to here. And then this one here, I would have picked it up again. But when it started going sideways, I probably would have exited, maybe put my stop above, and then pick this up. So I would have been trying to go down to this level here. So being that right there is probably where I would have taken profit, especially with the chop that we had. And then when we come over and come down, there's another one that we could have entered. And those are the ones that we would have entered manually. We have the signals for it. The confirmation tells us to take them, and I would have. This one, I would have had my profit target here. I wouldn't have had it all the way up there. I probably would have missed that. I'm sure I would have just taken profit right here. There's 18 and 4, so there's another 14 points. So there's $280 right there that you could have gotten. This one I would have left alone because we have our TP1 right there. So play their levels. This one, I would have actually put my profit target either here or there. And then when this went up running and started kind of pulling back here, I might have got out right in here. I know I would have actually, especially when that high did not break. So I would have been out somewhere on through here, which would have picked up their 69, and so another 5 to 7 points I would have picked up there. Manually trading, when this went up, this one here we probably would not have got in. I don't think I would have, but I definitely would have got in this one. And whenever I got in right here, and I would have been playing down to at least here, here, or there, one of the three. Probably, whenever I saw this, I might have played down to this one right here. And I probably would have stopped out right on through here, because when we start stacking, that's a good sign that we're going to reverse. So I either would have done that or put my stop right here and got stopped out there, or put a break even in and just allowed it. I probably would have stopped out in here because I'm not patient. This one, we go in right here. By looking at it, we push up to there. Our profit target is a lot further up. My profit target would have been right along through here somewhere, and we missed it. So I would have lost money right there. That's a definite loser. This one, my profit target would have been there, So when this went up, kind of pulled back, started going sideways, I would have taken profit here, maybe picked up 1 or 2 more points. And that's just the way we trade it. And I teach how to do this in our training. So when you lease the Spybot Suite, you're going to get all of this, everything. You get the it's anything to do with the Angular is part of that package, and the confirmation of the Angular. And we have a new one coming out that uses that as well. It's called ManaWar. So we're going to have 2 to 3 bots that we use, and that's all. This one, I would have probably left it there. I might have put it right down here. I don't usually trade exactly to the level because it'll sometimes come down to it and then bounce. This one here, I probably would have moved it down to there though. This one here would have been a loss. It just would have happened. When we come down through here, there's a chance I might have put my stop right here across the top of this one. So it would have been a loss, but maybe not as bad a loss. This one is a complete loss, and let's look at it. When we're coming down and it goes to get in right here, I would be looking to probably put my stop right above the top of that bar here, the entry bar. And the reason being is if it doesn't, and I put my profit target right there. So my profit target would be down here, I would move it up to here. Because I want to just try to capture some profit. But this would have been a loss on me. But not as bad a loss, but it would have been a loss. All right, so we go back. I think that is the end of them. Now right here's one more. This is Monday. So Monday, I would have actually been out in here, and it would have got another signal right here. So we would have been out here with either a small loss or a small profit, but I definitely would have exited right here because we're stacking. When we're stacking, we get out. And this one, it would have entered again, and you would have got your target. My profit target would have been here. So you would have had a small loss, but a bigger profit. And the reason that didn't enter a trade here is because we were in a trade already. If you're already in a trade, it won't signal a new trade. But this would have been a signal to go short for the bot. This one, I would not have lost that much. When this went up, started pushing up through here, and start kind of going sideways here. Worst case scenario is I'd be at the bottom of my entry bar. So I'd have had a little less stop. I might have had something up here even. But when we're playing around this TP12 right here, that's a good sign that we're going to get some congestion. So, and this one right here, when we come back up, we can manually trade it that easy. And that is a trade we would have got in. This one, I would have my profit target up here. So with having it up there and it kind of pulls back on me, there's a chance I might have got out sooner here, or it just went ahead and this was the trade that we took, and then we missed this one because we had this one. So this one is discretionary of what we would have actually done there. I think when this started stacking, I probably would have taken profit in here and still had that loss. You don't know unless you're there, but more than likely that's what I would do. All this through here is just nothing but chop. We don't trade chop. And I teach how to find that chop and how to find it, draw it out, and stay out of it, and when to get back in. This one, we have a profit target there. I would have left it alone because we have resistance here and the TP. This one right here, my profit target would have been there. And this one right here, when we entered, I would have had a profit target here or here, one of the two. I wouldn't allow it to run all the way up more than likely, but I mean, you can always do what you want. But when you have these balance levels and you have these resistance levels, you need to adhere to those. I would say that I probably would have put my target right here and then just kind of let it play out to it. That's probably where I would have been. Worst case scenarios, I'd been out right here. So it's still, you've got 16 and 28. So you got 12 points in there extra that you could have gotten. And that's why I'm saying that, the numbers on the strategy analyzer are skewed a little bit because of the way we trade it. So when you have this on your chart, it's much easier to know that I can get some more money. This one right here, I probably would have put my profit target right on up. I might have left it because we had this zone. I probably would have left it actually because we had this one here and there and the profit target's there. So I probably would have just left that alone. Sometimes you don't want to move it, and when you have a resistance right before the balance, you're better off to take that resistance level. This one right here, we would have entered short manually. So this one right here, we have that one. My profit target would have been right here, so there's a little extra. This one right here, actually I would have left that right where it is because we have our balance level there. Our TP2 is right there, so I would have left that alone. And as far as manually trading, no, we don't trade this in here. And again, I teach why. So that is the end of what we have there. Now the other thing is a lot of people ask, well, how do I get started? Well, for one thing, I am building a different page, and I'm going to show you this, our old page, but it's going to change. I used to allow, if you go to the home page, you click on Angular Confirmation. I'm going to take this down today, and because I'm not going to lease it anymore. I'm not leasing just the indicators alone. We are going to do the Spybot Suite, and that is going to be the $1,300 package. And the reason we're doing that is because instead of selling a lot of different indicators to you and stuff, and you're always buying, we're including a lot of stuff inside the Spybot Suite. It's going to have all the indicators that we use other than the balance and the zones. That's something you have to purchase. But the balance and the zones are the angular indicator, the confirmation indicator, the man of war indicator, and there's a few others that I give away in there to let you use. As long as you have the lease, you get to use those. These indicators are not for sale, so I do not sell them. I won't even lease them separately anymore. So when you click on this, this is the package you're going to have. We're building the new page for it today. So that's going to be out here probably this weekend, and it's going to be called the Spybot Suite. So up on top, if you don't see Angular and Confirmation and you see the Spybot Suite, then that's because we've switched it over. But I'm taking the indicator package down today. The only thing you'll be able to do is the bot and indicator package together. With this, you also get the Discord. So you get invited to the Discord, and that's where we do our live training, and that's where we do the live trading. And I don't do live trading all the time, but I do run it. And a lot of times I'll have the bot running and be moving the stops. I'll tell you what I'm doing to kind of help you out. But don't count on that. You've got to learn how to do this, and that's the main thing. So if you're interested, you want to click on this one here, because the other one, if someone clicks on it by accident, I'm going to refund it. I won't do it. It's going to be this one only. To give you an idea, and I'm going to do an interview in the next week. Someone had leased this package, knew nothing about trading. He had no clue what to do with futures or anything. And I had been talking to him for, I guess, probably a month, and he had been watching videos on YouTube. And he decided to lease this package. He said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And he ended up quitting his job even, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody, but he did. He quit it before I knew. And he started live trading this past Wednesday. And on Wednesday, he made about $200. On Thursday, he made $560 some dollars. I think $567, over $500. And then yesterday, Friday, he made over $600. Now, he was $412 to the good, and we were live trading. And I was telling, I had my chart up here. I had, showing what I was doing, and I was calling out where to get in and where to put your profit targets and your stops and all that, because it was the end of the day and it looked like it was going to run up. So he got in and he picked up another $200 off of that one trade. And we trade conservative. We don't, just go in and, trade a whole bunch and go for the moon. We trade conservative, little quick scalps, and just try to pick up a few $100s a contract. So he ended up closing out $625, I think it was. So he's already paid for his lease. Now, all next week, well, for the next 3 weeks, he's going to be able to pocket that money. So it does work good. If you have questions, you go here to the contact page. When you click on contact, I am the one that answers these. This comes to me, I answer it. If you need to talk to me, just put your phone number in there and we can do that. Also, you want to put this in your spam folder, or not spam folder, but spam filter. Sometimes my emails go to spam, so make sure that you either check your spam or add a filter to where anything at this email does not go to spam. That's what you need to do. Make sure you can hear from me. We do have some interviews and training courses and things like that, but for the most part, this is this is the package that you're going to want. And also, if you want to do the balance and indicator package, we have them bundled together. So if you type in balance, it'll come up. You save $100 on it if you order this one. If you order them together, if you've got one and not the other, then just take and order the one that you want. But this is, in my opinion, something that you really need to have on your charts in order to know where price is going. Probably going. It's not always, but for the most part, it's going there. So this is the only one that I think that you should buy, and then you do the lease on the Angular, and when you do the lease on the Angular, down at the bottom, this one right here, when you do that, that will get you into the package that is going to be best for you. That's going to be the least amount of money that you spend to make the most, possibly make the most. But in my opinion, with the way we do it, the people in our group are doing very well. Occasionally someone will not have a good day, and it's because they haven't followed the rules. But for the most part, everybody's doing very well. Brand new trader. So if you're a brand new trader and don't understand what to do, this is the one you want to do because you get all the live training. And any training that I've done, I record, so you get that in the course as well. So when you come in, you can immediately start watching the videos and learning how to do what we're doing. And what I suggest is if you do that is to start with the last video that we did, because that's usually going to be the most current, because some of the older videos we have new ways that we do things, so I'm going to filter those out too and delete the ones we don't need. But just go to spymoneylse.com. When you go there, then click on the Angular and confirmation. These are the two indicators and bots that we mainly use. I'm building another one right now called ManaWar that works off of the same indicators here, and it works really well. So ManaWar works mainly with the confirmation, but it has Angular in it too. So it actually utilizes all this. If you all have any questions or anything, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you. Even if it's on the weekend or whichever, let me know. Let's get you started. Get in, get yourself educated, learn how to trade the proper way, and we'll get you headed the right direction. Y'all have a great day.